Tonight, the local Jewish community is grieving over a young couple shot outside a celebration at D.C.'s Capitol Jewish Museum. Police say the two Israeli embassy staff members who were about to be engaged were killed by a man who afterward chanted "Free Palestine." Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Thuman. All day long, we brought you extensive team coverage in our newscast and on WJLA.com. Our reporting continues now with Christian Flores and Carl Willis. Christian was outside the White House tonight where dozens of mourners gathered for a vigil. They told him their candles are shining a light on an act of anti-Semitic terrorism.
Dozens gathered here in front of the White House for a vigil. Their candles shining a light on what they're calling an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. An emotional evening. Less than 24 hours after two Israeli embassy staffers, Sarah Milgram and Yoran Lashinsky, were shot and killed after leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum Wednesday night.
I'm sad, I'm terrified, I'm angry.
I was absolutely devastated, and I decided it was very important to show up and show support.
One woman attending the vigil telling 7 News she was actually at the museum just minutes before shots were fired.
If I had left any later, I would not be here right now.
You know, the first thing that kind of came to mind for me was that this was a couple and they had their whole lives ahead of them and they were planning to share love.
And that love is something former ANC Commissioner Erica Green is pleading for. She hopes this shooting does not cause religious rifts.
I reverted to Islam a few years ago. Grandma Judy, Judith Green, my angel, my everything, my savior, was a Jewish woman. This lady sold her house to pay my college tuition. I am the physical embodiment of peace between the Jews and the Muslims. Even though, again, please let me stress, this is not a war on religion.
Green says religious communities are bracing for the worst.
They're scared of hate crimes, and that's not fair, right? To not be able to freely worship your God.
I feel like I'm always watching my back.
It's been a lot. It's been really, really heavy.
Christian Flores, 7 News.
Yoran Lashinsky was only days away from proposing to Sarah Milgram in Jerusalem. One of their friends tells us he spoke with Sarah on the phone last night right before the shooting.
The last thing that I said to her was, I hope I get to see your smiling face before you go to Israel. And they just meshed so well, and you could tell that they really, really loved each other.
Described the couple as caring and passionate about fighting anti-Semitism. According to documents, the suspect said he bought a ticket to the event at the museum just 3 hours before it started. One witness describes the chaotic moments and says she even interacted with him.
At the time when he entered the building, we were experiencing things in real time as they were unfolding. And so the security guard who let him in, it was her impression, the event was wrapping up, it was her impression that he was a victim and an innocent bystander to this attack. And being the well-meaning group that we are, we all thought that was the case. And I actually offered him, gave him water. Unbeknownst to me that I was looking evil in the eye.
Now, the suspect's arrest was caught on camera. 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez appeared in court for the first time today on charges of murdering foreign officials and other crimes. He was appointed a lawyer and faces the death penalty or life in prison. A preliminary hearing is now set for June 18th. Rodriguez allegedly told police that he shot the couple in an effort to stand up for Palestine and Gaza. This is video of the FBI searching his home in Chicago tonight. Investigators are also scouring certain writings and posts that he made online. And that is just a fraction of what's being revealed in new court documents that our Carl Willis is digging through.
We can never and must never forget.
Interim U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro acknowledging the impact of the murders of Israeli embassy employees Sarah Milgram and Yoran Lashinsky in D.C. and the apparent motivation behind the killings. Court documents obtained Thursday by 7 News show suspect Elias Rodriguez stated on the scene, quote, "I did it for Palestine. I did it for Gaza."
We're going to continue to investigate this as a hate crime and a crime of terrorism. And we will add additional charges as the evidence warrants.
The charges currently include 2 counts of first-degree murder, murder of foreign officials, and several felony firearm charges. According to investigators, Rodriguez traveled from Chicago to D.C. for a work conference on Tuesday, March 20th, 1 day before the shooting. Investigators say he flew with a gun in his checked bag.
There was nothing in criminal records or in our holdings that indicated that this person was previously known to us or would have popped on our radar or MPD's radar.
Now, with the help of offices across the country, the FBI is contacting Rodriguez's family members, co-workers, and associates, and executing search warrants for his devices while reviewing his social media. And they say they are aware of what could be his writings.
We're actively investigating to determine both the authorship and the attribution of these writings, if they belong to this subject or not.
Court documents show Rodriguez waived his rights and, quote, expressed admiration for the man who set himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in D.C. last year.
In cases where the death penalty is warranted and seems appropriate, we will use it. It's far too early to say whether that is the case, but this is a death penalty eligible case.
Carl Willis, 7 News.
Local police agencies, including D.C. and Fairfax County, among others, are now increasing patrols at houses of worship. We also learned that the Capitol Jewish Museum was awarded a grant from the district exactly 1 week ago to help increase its security. 7 News spoke to a local rabbi today who said her congregation had worked with one of the victims, Sarah Milgram.
The only way that we change the moment that we're in into something more redemptive is to bring the largest, most expansive hearts full of love and compassion that we can. We are going to call out violence. We are going to call out anti-Semitism. We are going to name the forces that lead to senseless violence and grief. And rather than meet those with the rage that is very real and present, we are asking ourselves, how do we meet those with love?
Now, we also checked in with the Washington Hebrew congregation, which is reinforcing its security.